Hi, and welcome to today's Daily Chronicle. Today is Friday, November 15th, 2024. They told insurers a bear damaged their car, but it was actually a person in a costume. The California Department of Insurance says detectives found this bear costume at the home of the suspects accused of orchestrating fake bear attacks on their vehicles. 4 residents from the Los Angeles area were arrested this week after an investigation by the California Department of Insurance revealed that they allegedly used a life-sized bear costume to stage attacks on their vehicles in an attempt to secure a 6-figure payout. The suspects, Ruben, 26, Arat, 39, Fahi, 32, Alifa Zuckerman, 39, have been charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy, according to an announcement made by the department on Wednesday. Their alleged scam cost 3 insurance companies a total of $141,000. Operation Bear Claw began earlier this year after one of their claims gave an insurance company pause, or should we say, pause. In January, the suspects claimed that a bear had entered their 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost and caused interior damage while it was parked in Lake Arrowhead, a region in the San Bernardino Mountains, known for its large black bear population. The suspects provided a video footage of the alleged incident to their unnamed insurance company, which the department has since posted online. The video shows a furry figure entering the side door, climbing around the back seat, and crawling out, leaving scratch marks on the leather seats and door. Upon further scrutiny of the video, the investigation determined the bear was actually a person in a bear costume, officials said. Detectives found 2 more claims involving the same suspects. From the same date and location, but involving different cars. A 2015 Mercedes G63 AMG and 2022 Mercedes E350. The suspects also provided video footage of these alleged incidents, which followed a similar pattern at first. But the suspicious authorities didn't rely solely on their animal instincts. They took additional steps to sniff out the truth. The department had a biologist from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife review the 3 alleged bear videos. They also opined it was clearly a human in a bear suit, it said. Detectives executed a search warrant and found the bear costume, complete with a furry, snouted head, paws, and metal tools in the shape of claws in the suspect's home. The fur of the costume is a light brown color. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife says black bears are the only wild bears in the state, although they can be found in various shades, including brown and tan. California grizzly bears became extinct in the 1920s, except for the one depicted on the state flag. The insurance department says the Glendale Police Department and the California Highway Patrol helped investigate the case, which has been referred to as the San Bernardino County District Attorney's Office for Prosecution. The District Attorney's Office informed NPR via email on Thursday that the case is currently under review for a filing determination. Essentially, the decision to charge suspects with a crime. Once that decision is made, court dates and appearances will be scheduled. ESPN host Kirk Hertzbin, beloved game day crashing dog Ben, has died. ESPN host Kirk announced the death of his dog Ben, a golden retriever who captured the hearts of football fans in appearances alongside ESPN announcers. This is really hard to write, but so many of you have loved and cared about Ben that I wanted to let you know. Kirk wrote Thursday on X, "We found out today the cancer had spread throughout Ben's organs, and there was nothing left we could do. We had to let him go." Kirk had told fans earlier this year that 10-year-old Ben had been diagnosed with leukemia, requiring chemotherapy treatment and a major surgery. In September, Kirk said that Ben had an incredible recovery and had been able to resume travel with the college game day chief analyst. But on Monday, Kirk told his supporters that Ben, who was certified emotional support animal, had fallen ill. Ben had a second chemo injection on October 23rd, and from that day has been getting worse and worse. He wrote on X, "He has lost use of his back legs, almost like they're paralyzed. He can barely walk. He hasn't eaten in 3 days." Kirk said at the time that he and Ben were in Pennsylvania seeking treatment from a holistic doctor who was using vitamin C to treat the pup. "I've had dogs my whole life, but Ben was one-on-one." Kirk wrote in tribute to Ben, "Always a big smile and a soft tail wag. He and I could communicate. He and I understood each other and had each other's backs. He was with me more than anyone at home and traveling with me for work. Such an easygoing companion. Hard day, but he will live within all of us forever." During his time as an honorary sports analyst, Ben picked up fitting titles ranging from chief happiness officer or football to treat analyst. On Kirk's social media pages, Ben's fans paid tribute to the dog and praised Kirk for returning to work even through his grief. "We love you, Kirk," one person wrote on Instagram post showing a tail-wagging Ben excitedly walking through a hotel. This man calls a game the dog his day passes. He loves football, but more importantly, he loved Ben. That dog was truly one of a kind. A man told 911 a bear chased him off a cliff. Weeks later, he was arrested for murder. In mid-October, a man called police in eastern Tennessee, claiming a bear had chased him off a cliff. But authorities arrived on the scene to find the body of a different man, sparking a multi-state manhunt for the caller that ended with his arrest on murder charges this weekend. Authorities say Nicholas Wayne Hamlet, 45, befriended and lured his victim into a wooded area to take both his life and identity. Hamlet, who was using an alias at the time, has a lengthy criminal history and was already wanted in Alabama for parole violation. After the October incident, another warrant was issued for Hamlet's arrest on first-degree murder charges in Monroe County, Tennessee. State and federal authorities warned that Hamlet, whom they considered dangerous and potentially armed, was known for travel under aliases. They urged Hamlet to turn himself in and offered up to $5,000 for information leading to his arrest. After many weeks of searching and one Halloween night spotting, Hamlet was taken into custody in Columbia, South Carolina on Sunday. After observing Hamlet at a local hospital, a good citizen alerted the authorities and brought this manhunt to a peaceful end, Monroe County Sheriff Tommy Jones said in a release. Columbia police say a hospital employee recognized Hamlet and alerted authorities, who verified his identity using fingerprints. They say arrangements are being made with Tennessee authorities to extradite Hamlet to Monroe County. What happened in the woods? The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says a distressed hiker called 911 shortly before midnight on October 18th, claiming to be Mr. Brandon Andrade. He advised the dispatcher that he had fallen off a cliff while running from a bear, it said, adding that the call came from near a bridge on the Chirrahalla Skyway, a 43-mile National Scenic Byway in Tellico Plains. The distress caller claimed that he was injured and partially in the water. According to the dispatch call obtained by the Knoxville News-Sentinel, the male subject had hit his head and was unable to move, and his phone only had 2% battery, only able to get him back on 911. Search and rescue teams rushed to the area and found a man's body with an identification of Brandon Christopher Andrade on his persons. He was transported to the forensic center while investigators combed the scene. After further investigation, detectives determined that the deceased man was not Brandon Andrade. In fact, they said the identification had been stolen and used on multiple occasions. In this case, they discovered quickly by Hamlet. Mr. Hamlet had used a false name when speaking with law enforcement in Knox County, Tennessee. After the distressed hiker call, the sheriff's office explained, before his real identity had been verified, Mr. Hamlet is believed to have fled from Tennessee residence. That set off a multi-agency investigation by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and others to locate Hamlet and identify the victim. Who was involved? On November 4th, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office announced it had identified the victim as 34-year-old Stephen Douglas Lloyd of Knoxville, Tennessee. It said Lloyd, a foster child who had been adopted by a great loving family, suffered from trust issues and mental health issues, including reactive attachment disorder. Stephen has known to leave home and live on the streets, but kept in contact with his family, the sheriff's office said. Stephen loved the outdoors and was so helpful when it came to others. The family was shocked to learn that their beloved son's life was taken by someone that Stephen trusted. Authorities did not specify how long the two men had known each other, but said Hamlet met Stephen, befriended him, and lured him into the wooded area to take Stephen's life and identity. Officials said on October 30th press conference that Lloyd's cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, adding that his injuries were not consistent with the bear attack or a fall from a very high elevated cliff. They also said his killing was not an isolated incident by any means, given Hamlet's violent criminal history. Hamlet was arrested in Alabama in 2009 over an incident in which he held a man at gunpoint and attempted to hit him with a baseball bat, with plans to eventually bury his body in a rural area. Alabama.com reports. Citing court records, the site says Hamlet was going to by the name Joshua Jones when he approached the victim so he could get some insurance. Hamlet, who had four prior felony convictions, was charged with attempted murder and kidnapping, but ultimately pleaded to the lesser offense of felony assault. Hamlet was sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2012 and paroled in July 2016. Where did Hamlet go? In the weeks after Lloyd's death, authorities urged the public to be on the lookout and for Hamlet to turn himself in. Let's end this peacefully. Turn yourself in. Have your day in court. Joseph Carrico, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Nashville field office, said in the press conference, "We will find you no matter where you hide." Authorities warned that Hamlet has ties to Tennessee, Montana, Alaska, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Florida, suggesting he had fled to another state. Their hunch was proved correct. On Halloween night, police in Chapin, South Carolina, where Hamlet apparently has family, said he was reported to be in the area and urged trick-or-treaters to be extra vigilant. They confirmed that he was spotted near the local high school in the early morning of November 1st, and that state and federal authorities were searching the area. Their efforts were unsuccessful. The following day, a week after the sighting, police said Hamlet was no longer believed to be in town. 2 days later, he was spotted at the hospital in Columbia, about 25 miles away. Officials with Carolina's Region Fugitive Task Force said a dehydrated Hamlet had checked into the hospital as a John Doe. ABC affiliate WPDE reports that's where police say an employee recognized him from a wanted poster. The sharing of Hamlet's wanted poster led to the public, whom is our most valuable resource, to act as our eyes and ears, Jones said. Lindsey Vonn announces a comeback at 40, saying she's ready to race. Lindsey Vonn got a new knee earlier this year, and now she wants to test herself at the highest levels, announcing that she is training to return to competitive alpine skiing. Vonn, 40, says she's finally feeling healthy, 5 years after she retired. Well, it's off to Colorado. I hope the U.S. ski team uniform still fits, Vonn said on Thursday via Instagram. News of Vonn's comeback bid comes 20 years after she won her first World Cup race. The women's season for the 2024-25 Alpine World Cup began on October 26 and will end in March 2025. Getting back to skiing without pain has been an incredible journey, Vonn said in a release from U.S. Ski and Snowboard. I am looking forward to being able to back with Stifel U.S. ski team and to continue to share my knowledge of the sport with these incredible women. Vonn is one of the most decorated skiers of all time, and she still holds a number of records, including the most World Cup victories by a woman or man in the downhill and the Super G. Her 82 World Cup wins trail only American Mikaela Shiffrin and Ingmar Stenmark of Sweden. She and Shiffrin are in an elite club of female skiers who have won World Cup events in all 5 disciplines: downhill, Super G, giant slalom, and combined. Her dedication and passion towards alpine skiing is inspiring, and we're excited to have her back on snow and see where she can go from here. U.S. Ski and Snowboard President and CEO Sophie Goldschmidt said, Vonn's ability to excel in speed disciplines has taken toll on her body. with knee injuries and at least 9 surgeries, disrupting her career on the competitive circuit, even as she has continued to rack up wins between setbacks. I have severe tri-compartment degeneration, but the main compartment that has been painful is the lateral compartment, or the outside of my knee, Vaughn said in April. She described a type of knee replacement surgery in which bone is removed and replaced with titanium pieces. With this new knee that is now a part of me, I feel like a whole new chapter of my life is unfolding before my eyes, she said last month on Instagram. If Vaughn is able to return, it would be the latest sign that her abilities aren't subject to the same constraints as other athletes. Back in 2012, her thirst for speed and competition led her to argue for being allowed to race against men, a request that the International Ski Federation rejected. Weeks later, she skied up to 136 kilometers per hour in a downhill training run at Lake House in Canada, a speed reportedly unmatched by male skiers at the event. Vaughn had recently hinted at a potential return to racing, and in recent months, her presence on slopes in New Zealand and Austria caused a stir, fueling speculation that she might try to resume competitive skiing in December, when World Cup races will be held in Colorado. Sophia Goggia, Vaughn's friend and fellow speed specialist, welcomed those rumors, saying that A, it's a sign Vaughn feels healthy, and B, it would be so fun to have her back. It would be great to race in the World Cup with my idol, Goggia told the Olympics.com site last month. Even before her knee surgery, Vaughn set out last year to accomplish an imposing goal, taking on the terrifying steep Streif downhill course in Kitzbühel, Austria. Early in the course, racers face an 85% incline known as the Mousefall, or mousetrap, at the steepest jump, soaring distances top 260 feet. When you look out at the starting gate and it's dark and you can't see the Mousefall, it looks like you're jumping off the edge of the world, and it's very intimidating, Vaughn said afterward. She tackled the roughly 2-mile course and its soaring jumps at night. on a pair of borrowed skis and a knee she would soon replace. Bond's speed reportedly topped 62 miles per hour.